Just days before our 250th anniversary as a nation, I bring you something completely unique and extremely American. If you know anything about Washington, D.C., you'll know that there's a quiet spot in our nation's capital right on the edge of the tidal basin where the water ripples softly against the stone. And if you stand there just as the sun begins to rise in the morning light hits a dome of pure white marble, in this case, silver. And if the wind is just right, you can almost hear the scratch of a quill pen echoing across 250 years of history. Today we look at this building, the Jefferson Memorial. We see a destination for generations that has loaded up buses for field trips and had cabs for tourists. But as we approach a milestone that only comes around once in a lifetime, the 250th anniversary of the United States, we have to look past the marble. We have to look to the man, the message, and the brand new magnificent tribute right here that lets you hold the entire sacred space in the palm of your hands. Go back with me to the scorching summer of 1776. A tall, quiet 33-year-old Virginian is sitting in a hot upstairs room in Philadelphia. He isn't holding a musket. He's holding a piece of paper. His name is Thomas Jefferson, and he's been tasked with writing a document that would either seal his execution warrant with the King of England or birth a new world. In his case, both. With a steady hand, he dipped his quill and wrote the words that became the very heartbeat of the American soul. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. He wasn't just writing a political statement. He was capturing a vision of democracy, freedom, and human rights that had never been tried in the history of mankind, an idea that's still pursued today. Nearly 2 centuries later, between the dark, heavy years of 1939 and 1943, while the world was tearing itself apart in the grip of the Second World War, America decided to build a fortress for those exact words. They built this, the Jefferson Memorial. They chase a classic design heavily inspired by the timeless beauty of Roman architecture. They gave it an imposing dome and elegant soaring columns, reminiscent of the Pantheon of Rome, a nod to the ancient republics that inspired our founders. And inside those venerable walls, they placed an imposing bronze statue of Jefferson, surrounded by the giant chiseled quotation of his speeches and writings. It was a building during our darkest hour, maybe to remind us of who we are even when challenged with conflict. And now as we stand at the doorstep of America's semi-quincentennial, our 250th birthday, the master craftsmen at the CIT Mint have released the magnificent final issue in their historic monument series. They didn't just make a coin, friends. They sculpted a piece of the very American spirit you and I hold. They took 2 ounces of pure fine silver and turned it into a freestanding, 3-dimensional masterpiece by utilizing a revolutionary double-sided high relief. They've given this coin extraordinary, breathtaking depth. When you hold it, you aren't just looking at a flat image of the memorial, you're looking into it. They've applied a warm, antiqued finish that softens the silver, giving it the exact look of weathered historic stone that has stood the test of time. But the part that will tug at your heartstrings is the detail. On both sides of this coin, they have intricately captured the filigree, coffered ceilings of the actual dome. When the light catches these tiny patterned squares, it perfectly mirrors the sublime, sacred atmosphere you feel when you stand inside the monument itself. It is a small, heavy anchor of history. As we look around our country today, 250 years into this great, fragile experiment, we face plenty of noise. We face plenty of uncertainty. But this coin serves as a beautiful, solid reminder that the foundations laid in 1776 are still standing. The dome hasn't fallen, and the columns haven't buckled. When you hold this 2 ounces of silver, you are holding a tribute to a man who gave us our voice, the monument that preserves his memory, and the country that, against all odds, is still the land of the free and the home of the brave. But is this monument right for your collection? Well, let's place it on our 60-point scale to find out. This is our obverse, as we see the effigy of King Charles. It is also the reverse of the monument, as we see the back of Thomas Jefferson. The statue is the only thing that breaks the symmetry of this building. There is so much to love about this scene. The textures, the extremely high relief, the vantage point providing the eye the illusion that you can see right through the coin. I love it. Symmetry often provides balance, but what's more is the negative space was created in a tasteful manner. The design you see in the field is the design found on the roof of the monument and is an intentional choice, as it is also the design one might find in the Roman Pantheon. Everything is exceptional. It scores a 10. Moving to the reverse, we have the front-facing scene of the Jefferson Memorial. This is where the story is strongest. As you can see, the pedestal of stairs is grand and walks you right up to Jefferson. In this obverse, you are invited to capture the full scale of majesty of the edifice as the dome rises to perfection. Oftentimes, the great wonders of architecture can be reduced to the power of understanding squares and circles. This beautiful building is a testament to exactly that, as it looks to take the lead from Roman architecture. I love that we have the Jefferson Memorial text in the field, as it adds relevance without taking away from the scene. This is simply fantastic, and it scores a 10. Next, we go to mintage. We have an extremely unique coin with a low mintage of just 999, which coincidentally matches the purity of silver. It's a beautiful ratio, and it scores a 10. Now we go to cultural significance. The cultural significance isn't about shared geography in this coin, but rather a shared appreciation for foundational ideas. By issuing the Jefferson Memorial coin, the Cook Islands uses its own political sovereignty to honor America's foundational champion of freedom, proving that the desire for liberty, self-governance, and beautiful artistry knows no geographic boundaries. If you look purely at geography and local customs, there is no direct indigenous cultural connection between the nation of the Cook Islands, which is a Polynesian island realm in the South Pacific, and Thomas Jefferson or his marble memorial at Washington, D.C. Instead, as we talked about, it is entirely numismatic, political, and symbolic, born from the unique way modern micronations participate in the global economy and celebrate universal human values. I score it a 6, which brings us to collectability. Americana is always the rage. We have one of the lesser celebrated but equally as deep monuments telling the story of why this nation was fought for and whom we aim to be. We have an extremely low mintage and breathtaking design. We have tied into this the idea that we are all created equal and should be seeing each other in the eyes of our Creator rather than focused on our differences. It is as perfect of a collector's piece as I have seen. I scored a 10. Uniqueness is our last category. The Jefferson Memorial is something that people around the world want to see when visiting Washington, D.C. It is truly iconic. This being said, it has been featured on a handful of coins in the past, but never has it been brought through the market like this. This is no flat disc. This is a piece that stands on its own. It has depth. It is bold and antiqued. It is a standalone piece, just like the ideas of Jefferson, who stood above the decree of a monarch. In this land, we shall not be the subject to a monarch. We shall be equal with our leaders, entrusting them with our best interests. It scores a 10, bringing us to our final thoughts and score. The Jefferson Memorial coin here from the CIT Mint declares its independence at a 56 out of 60, meaning it is beyond elite. How amazing it is to hold one of our nation's most important ideas crafted into architecture. This is such a cool piece and reminds me of the importance of architecture. Architecture itself is the physical manifestation of a society's soul, serving as a permanent visual record of its values, history, and cultural identity. When a nation's landscape is dominated by uninspired, uniform brown boxes of brick and concrete, its cities risk stripping away local character and fostering a sense of cultural stagnation. America uniquely needs a revival of bold, intentional architecture to break away from this modern monotony. By investing in diverse, expressive, and innovative structural design, American cities can create vibrant civic spaces that inspire national pride. It will reflect contemporary creativity and cultivate a distinct regional belonging that square, utilitarian buildings simply cannot provide. This coin is a perfect reminder of who we are at our best. Thank you for watching, and as always, please remember to stay classy and current with the culture of currency.